After serving more than a year in the military, Min Yoongi, also known as Suga of BTS, finally breathed the air of freedom on June 21, 2025. But it wasn't just fans who rejoiced. Two of his closest companions, JUNGKOOK and Blackpink's Lisa, welcomed his return in the warmest and most meaningful way, a private dinner together in Hanamdong. A long-awaited dinner. The night was calm, the sky over Seoul slightly cloudy with a cool breeze in the air. Around 7 p.m. Korea Standard Time, three major stars were spotted entering a Japanese restaurant known to be a favorite among celebrities. JUNGKOOK, wearing an oversized black jacket and beanie, smiled widely as he opened the door. Behind him, Lisa arrived in a relaxed look, a white sweater and loose hair, greeting the staff warmly. And of course, the man of the hour, Suga, showed up in his signature minimalist style, a gray hoodie and loose pants. The restaurant was closed off exclusively for them, ensuring privacy and comfort. No cameras, no crowd, just three friends reunited to celebrate a precious moment after a long time apart. Nostalgic conversations and new hopes. According to one of the staff members, the atmosphere inside was warm and filled with laughter. They ordered many of Suga's favorite dishes, including tuna otoro sashimi, wagyu beef, and a special homemade miso soup he often missed during military life. "Hyung, we can finally eat like we used to," JUNGKOOK said, lifting his green tea glass. Lisa playfully added, "I thought you'd come back looking thinner, but you're even more muscular, Yoongi appa." Suga chuckled softly. "Morning workouts made my body more disciplined, and hungry all the time." The three spoke at length about life, their future plans, and of course, music. Suga hinted that he had written several songs during quiet nights at the barracks and hoped to return to the studio soon. JUNGKOOK immediately responded, "We should do a collab. With Lisa too. What do you say?" Lisa was surprised at first but then nodded enthusiastically. "If you're serious, I'm in. Let's make something the world's never heard before." Army and Blink, supporting this trio's bond even though only blurry, distant photos circulated on social media, hashtags like #YoongiIsBack, #LisGookYoongi and #BTSXBLACKPINK moment quickly trended on Twitter. Fans were touched to see their closeness, not just as global artists, but as real friends who supported one another. "They're like a real family," one fan wrote. "Lisa's always been there for JUNGKOOK, and now they're there for Suga. This trio is the best," said another. What's next? While no official statement has been released, rumors suggest that JUNGKOOK, Lisa, and Suga might be working on a secret collaboration project. There's been no confirmation from their agencies, but their warm interaction that evening was enough to spark hope among fans. At the end of the night, they left the restaurant with bright faces. JUNGKOOK and Lisa even burst into laughter when Suga, the usually quiet one, suddenly said, "Let's go to the beach. I want to see the sky without a morning roll call." They stepped into a black van waiting outside, leaving the Seoul night with a memory to be cherished, not because they were superstars, but because they were true friends who always found their way back to the same dinner table amid the chaos of the world. Hanami Restaurant, hidden in one of Hanamdong's alleys, was quiet that evening. The sky over Seoul was veiled in thin clouds, and a summer breeze carried the scent of watered leaves and blooming flowers. In front of the restaurant's traditional wooden door, a man in a black cap stood holding his phone. It was JUNGKOOK. He glanced at the watch on his left wrist, his expression a mix of tension and excitement. "It's been a while since we hung out, just the three of us," he murmured, biting his lower lip. Soon, light footsteps approached from behind. Lisa, wearing a white sweater and loose denim pants, arrived with a small handbag. Her smile lit up as she saw JUNGKOOK. "Did you wait long?" she asked. JUNGKOOK shook his head. "Not really. Hyung said he's on his way." As if the universe had planned it, the sound of a car stopping was heard. A slim man stepped out in a gray hoodie, his eyes gleaming with joy. It was Suga. "Am I too on time for a former soldier?" he joked. Lisa and JUNGKOOK laughed. The three exchanged shoulder pats before heading inside. They sat in a private room with warm lighting and soft instrumental music playing. A low wooden table in front of them was already set with hot green tea and warm towels. Suga sat in the middle, flanked by JUNGKOOK and Lisa. "I thought it'd feel awkward seeing you guys again," Suga said, exhaling deeply. But it feels like we just talked yesterday. And Lisa's voice is still as loud as ever, he added. Lisa laughed and tossed a napkin at him. Hey! You're the one who quietly tells jokes and now you're the chatty one. They ordered a variety of dishes, kairashi don, gyutataki, haru don, and of course, Suga's favorite, tuna otoro sashimi. When the food arrived, they didn't eat right away. Instead, they paused. Lisa was the first to speak. Yoongi appa, I'm so happy you came back healthy. JUNGKOOK followed, his voice low but clear. Hyung, you have no idea how much we waited for this day. Suga just smiled. But in his eyes, emotion was clearly visible. In the military, the nights were really quiet, he said. And every time I felt like giving up, I thought about you too. About the studio. About music. About the stage. That was what kept me going every morning. A silence fell for a moment. Lisa reached out and gently held Suga's hand. Now we're together again. Let's make new memories. After their bellies were full and the mood relaxed, they shifted to lighter topics. JUNGKOOK talked about fans constantly asking when Suga would return. Lisa mentioned fans writing fanfics about the three of them dining together. Seriously? Suga laughed. Totally. Lisa replied. One even said you secretly sang in the barracks, and JUNGKOOK sent you food via drone. They all burst out laughing. Then JUNGKOOK pulled out his phone and played a song demo. I made this last week. But it felt empty without you, Hyung, he said. Suga listened carefully and nodded. I can add a rap verse to this. Lisa closed her eyes, imagining the rhythm. What if I sing the chorus? JUNGKOOK immediately lit up. Yes. That'll be our first trio track. They exchanged looks. What started as a casual conversation over dinner now felt truly possible. A collaboration between JUNGKOOK, Lisa, and Suga. The world had never seen it. But they knew, with their bond, history, and trust, they could create something incredible. At 10 p.m., they stepped out of the restaurant. The streets were quiet, only the occasional car passing by. From a distance, fans' cameras caught the silhouettes of three K-pop icons walking side by side. But to them, the night wasn't about who was watching. It was about friendship, understanding, and belonging. Suga looked up at the sky. I'm heading to the studio tomorrow, he said. You guys coming? JUNGKOOK nodded. I'll bring the coffee. Lisa smiled. I'll bring the energy. Suga chuckled. And I'll bring the music. A black van came to pick them up. Before parting, they shared a brief group hug. Warm. Genuine. As if military life, packed schedules, and outside pressures could never keep them apart. Hyung, JUNGKOOK said before getting in, thank you for coming back. Suga patted his shoulder. I never really left. I just needed time to come back stronger. Their car slowly drove off, disappearing into the quiet Seoul night. And beneath the Korean sky, these three titans of music weren't just returning to the entertainment world. They were returning to each other.